You're listening to the Natalie Parker Studio podcast, episode number 2. In today's episode, we're asking the question, when can you call yourself an artist? If you struggle to confidently call yourself an artist, or you're waiting to reach a certain level of success before saying I'm an artist, then you're absolutely going to love this. So let's dive right on in. Welcome to the Natalie Parker Studio podcast, the podcast for women artists who are ready to pursue their creative dreams so that they can thrive both in life and in business. I'm your host, Natalie Parker, artist and mentor to women creatives around the globe. In this podcast, I'll share with you the strategies, principles, and mindset that you need to build a purposeful and fulfilling creative business. If you're ready to be inspired, encouraged, and equipped to build the art business of your dreams, then you're absolutely in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey there, artist, and welcome to today's episode. I absolutely love this question. This is a question that I've posed to my students inside the Confident Brush membership. When can you call yourself an artist? And we really unpacked this and came up with some amazing answers and really helped shift some of our mindsets. Now, I am going to confess, it personally took me a long time to confidently call myself an artist, despite the fact that I am the classic arty-farty chick. And what I mean by that was, yes, I went through school and was the top of art. I went on to do a BFA. I've taught art for a decade, and now I'm a professional artist. Yet it wasn't till about 4 years ago, in my final year as working as a full-time teacher while building my practice on the side, that I could start to call myself an artist. And in fact, it was my husband who taught me how to do this. Bless him. So when we would go and meet new people, my husband would introduce me to them as, hey, this is my wife, Nat. She's an artist. Despite the fact that I was still working as a full-time teacher at the time, because he knew the vision that I had. He knew the goal that I was working towards. We had already planned that I would be leaving my job and going into full-time artist the following year. He was quite confident in presenting me and to others as an artist and giving me that title. Now, I had to hear that from him for many times before I would start to take that on and call myself an artist. And it actually had to start with me personally in my mind, changing my mindset and talking to myself and being comfortable calling myself an artist before I could actually verbalize that and introduce myself as an artist to other people. So today what I want to do is I want to take you through a process that's really going to help you unpack this for you, shift your mindsets so that you can then confidently call yourself an artist regardless of your personal circumstance. And what I mean by that is regardless of whether you have sold any work, whether you are a newbie artist, or whether you've been an artist for 20 years. Okay, so let's dive right in. I'm just going to put it out there and ask you the first question. Now, you can write this in a book, you can pause, you can just literally answer it in your mind as you're listening and walking along. Do you call yourself an artist? Just answer that yes, no for me. Don't go in there with a, well, nah, maybe sometimes. It's just a straight out, what is your gut instinct when I ask you that question? Question number 2. When do you think you'll be able to confidently call yourself an artist? So what do you feel you have to have achieved? What do you think you will need to feel about yourself? When will you be able to confidently call yourself an artist? Do you believe that it's when you sell your first artwork? Is it when you get repeat sales coming through? Is it when you've found your painting style? Is it when you're creating your own original work? Is it when someone else validates you as an artist and tells you your work is great? These are some really, really good questions. So when do you think you will be able to confidently call yourself an artist? Come up with that for me. Okay, while you're thinking about that, let's just unpack the old Webster dictionary definition of what is an artist. Okay, according to the dictionary, an artist is someone who draws or paints pictures or creates sculptures as a job or hobby. I'll say that again. An artist is someone who draws or paints pictures or creates sculptures as a job or hobby. So, based on that definition that I have just read to you, does that change your opinion? Does that change your answer for what you have just said? So, if we take that definition, can you now call yourself an artist? Think about that. Okay, the next thing I want to do with you now is I want to take you through a visualization exercise. So I want you to imagine you are 3 years old, you are at kindergarten, you are standing at an easel and you are painting a picture, whatever you want, okay? That was me. I think I remember I was painting those really cool butterflies where you paint one side and then you fold the paper and it opens up and it looks really cool. So you're standing, you're at the easel, you're 3 years old, you're painting this rocking picture. Do you feel in that particular time, where you are now 3 years old, can you call yourself an artist? Do you think the 3-year-old version of you would be absolutely loving it, stoked with the picture that she was creating? Imagine your parent, your mother, whoever comes in and sees you and you're like, Mom, look at my work, I'm so proud. Do you think that 3-year-old would call herself an artist? Now I want you to imagine you're a little bit older, let's say 43, just put 40 years on it. You're now 43 years old, you're standing at an easel and you're painting. You're painting a picture, you're sculpting, you're doing whatever art medium that you use. Can you call yourself an artist? 43 years old, same thing, standing at an easel painting. Are you an artist? Now, I don't want you to overthink this. I don't want you to be like, yes, no, well, I haven't sold anything yet, so no, I can't call myself an artist, or I don't have an art degree. Just a very, very simple question. And based on that dictionary definition we've had, so an artist is someone who draws or paints pictures or creates sculptures as a job or hobby. How does that shift your mindset and how does that help you to consider, are you an artist? The next question I want to ask you, and we've sort of talked a little bit about this, is what do you need to have before you can confidently call yourself an artist? And this is a big thing. So when I ask my students, do you call yourself an artist? There was always a yes or no, but there was always a but, or I have to have this or I have to have that to be able to call myself an artist, Natalie. So for some of them, and this may be for you, when I asked this question, they were like, I have to have a sale to a stranger. So it may be that you're selling a lot of your work right now to your friends and family. Bless them. They're always awesome supporters sometimes. But you might feel like, yeah, that's cool, but they just do it because they love me and they want to support me. I need to have sold a work to a stranger to be able to call myself an artist. Or it might be, I need to have discovered my style, my thing, to be able to create my own original work. For some, it might be that you want acceptance from other artists. Are other artists accepting you into their group? Are they looking at you as an equal peer? It might be that you need to have intrinsic motivation for some, or a steady motivation. Do you need to have committed to having a full-time career? So what I mean by that is, do you need to have left your full-time job and now, be in your studio full-time to be able to call yourself an artist? Or do you need acknowledgement or awards or recognition from others to be able to confidently call yourself an artist? Because here's the thing. Sometimes we feel we need to have something, which will then change our behavior and what we do so that we will become that thing. Okay, so for example, I need to have more time so that I can go into my studio to paint, to do, so that I can call myself an artist, what I want to be. Or I need to have left my full-time job so that I can go into my studio full-time and paint so that I can be a real artist. Or I need to have my first sale so that I will be validated, so therefore I can be an artist. Or I need to have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree or an art bachelor's or certificate or whatever art course you feel you need to have, so that I am now qualified to go into my studio and to paint, to offer it for sale so that I can be an artist. Because so much of what we do, not just in our creative life, but also in our private life, is waiting to have something before we do it so that we can become it. So we wait to have enough time. We wait to have enough money. We wait to have enough education. We wait to have enough knowledge. What would happen if we flipped the script around and focused on being something instead? What if you stepped into being an artist now? How would that change what you do, and as a result, what you have? So this is also known as the be, do, have concept. It is a fantastic way that we can begin to renew our mindsets so that we can confidently call ourselves artists. So what this concept means is that to step into being an artist right now, which is absolutely what I want you to do. I want you to step into that. I'm an artist. Step into that right now, regardless of your circumstances. So forget about whether you've been to art school. Forget about whether you've just started painting or you've been painting for years. Forget about how much you have or have not sold. Forget about whether someone's, stroked your ego and told you your work's beautiful or you've got an award or recognition. If you put on the mindset of I am an artist, how would that change your behavior? What would you do? How would you spend your time? How would you spend your money? What shows would you apply for or not? Would you put in your work into galleries? Would you share your work on the gram? Would you tell people confidently you're an artist? Would in your bio, would you write artist? And how would you talk to people about your work? So if you put on that mindset of I am an artist, this is me, this is who I be, and you operate it in those behaviors, what are the actions that an artist would be doing if you put on that mindset? What would an artist do? You'd be doing the work. You'd be showing up. You'd be telling others about your work. You'd be communicating. You'd be connecting. You'd be sharing your work. If you were doing those actions, would you then have the results that you want, such as sales, recognition, all those things that we are waiting for to have so that we can confidently call ourselves artists? So this is the whole flip the switch, flip the script. It's a mindset game and I totally get it, but all I want for you today is to put the artist mindset on. Just think about it, okay? I'm an artist. All right, take that. So if I'm an artist, what does an artist do? How does an artist talk? How does an artist communicate? How do they show up to their studio? How do they present their work? How do they talk about their work? How do they address themselves to others? What do they read? What do they listen to? Where do they go to get inspiration? And how do they fill their cup? Because when you're suddenly putting that on, that mindset of I am an artist, then those actions start to happen. You start to do, all right? And then we get those results, those things we want to be an artist, those things we're waiting to have. So the results we are waiting for to validate us as artists, they're just the byproduct of the mindset, the persona of the artist that we have put on that caused us to do the action to achieve those results. Now, I absolutely love this. So this has been the game changer for me. So when I decided that I was going to be a full-time artist, my behavior changed. I knew that I needed to turn up to my studio more regularly. I knew that I needed to share my work more. I knew that I needed to speak more confidently about my work. I knew I needed to learn sales and marketing. I knew I needed to buy quality products and quality materials to present my artwork. So many of those actions changed because of the mindset of being an artist. So here's your challenge, all right? Next time someone asks you, okay, so say you're at a party or whatever, or you're meeting a new person, and they come up and they're like, hey, I'm Bob, I'm a fisherman, I don't know. I'm Bob's a fisherman. There's not many fishermen around, but anyhow. And you're like, oh, hey, I'm Sarah, I'm an artist. That's all I want you to do. Obviously, put your name in there. I want to introduce yourself as an artist. And don't overthink it, all right? Just sit with it, let it sink in and see how it feels. Don't go, yeah, I'm an artist, but I haven't sold much, or I'm an artist, but I'm still learning, or an artist, but I still have a full-time job doing this because I can't make that much money from my artwork. Don't do that. Just introduce yourself purely as an artist and see how it makes you feel. And like I said, this is what my husband did for me, and I learnt it from him, and then I started to practice this. So when people ask me what do you do, rather than saying I'm a teacher, I was saying I was an artist. And this was before I had left my teaching job. Because what I don't want for you is, if you're looking at transitioning into being a full-time artist and running a full-time business, if that's your plan, if you want to go part-time and do a side hustle, hey, absolutely cool. But you don't just suddenly go from working from someone else to running your own business. Your mindset doesn't shift when you wake up overnight, okay? It's a practice. So I want you to start to prepare for the future vision, the future business that you want to have, okay? So start to call yourself an artist. If you struggle with it and you have a supportive spouse or people in your family who support you and love the work that you're doing, get them to introduce you as an artist. Get them to talk about your work. Kids are the best, all right? Kids are so passionate. They get really inspired seeing their mums create. If your kids are loving it and they say, my mum's doing this really cool work, my mum's got a show, listen to them. They don't stutter. They don't hold back. They're all into it, and we can learn so much from those children. So leverage off their confidence, learn from them, and use that for you. So that is my little challenge for you today, and over the next week is to start to introduce yourself as an artist. Now, if you want to backtrack, if you're a little bit like, oh, Nat, that's really hard, start to call yourself an artist. Do the thing in the mirror, as awkward as it is, just go, I'm an artist, I'm an artist. Say it to yourself quietly, or meditate it on in your mind. I'm an artist, I'm an artist. Okay, so if I'm an artist, what does an artist do? Would an artist do that? Would an artist listen to this? Would an artist read that? And get that in your spirit. The more your mindset shifts, the more you're going to become and have that amazing practice. And you are quickly going to be able to confidently call yourself an artist. Alrighty, ladies, that is us for today. As again, I love to bring these to you. If you've enjoyed today's episode, or if you want to be really bold and share with me that situation when you've introduced yourself to someone as an artist this week or coming up, then do that. So take a screenshot of the episode, share it with me on your Instagram and your DMs or whatever. Tag me in at Natalie Parker Studio. I'd absolutely love to hear your experience of you confidently calling yourself an artist. If you've got a topic you'd love me to cover in an upcoming episode, please let me know. But that is us for today, ladies. Until then, go and pursue your creative dreams, and I will talk to you soon. Do you dream of having your own art business? Is 2022 going to be the year that you step out, go after your desires, and start to build the art biz you've been dreaming about for years? If you are, but you also have no idea how or where to start, then you're gonna love this. On Jan the 20th, I'm kicking off a free training series for artists called the Art Biz Startup Series. In this 3-part training, you'll get clear about what you want for your business, you'll learn multiple ways to make money, and you'll learn my simple 3-step sales system that you can use over and over again to finally get those art sales coming in. So if you're ready to finally do what you love, to be fulfilled in your days, and to have the extra income for you and your family, then you're going to want to register for this free training today. Click the link to register in the show notes below. I can't wait to help you turn your art biz dream into a reality this year.